Does that work? Let's see. All right. Hey guys. Gonna be somewhat of an unorthodox setup, but I just got my EV3s in, and I figured it'd be cool to do like this unboxing thing. Although, you know, these are very similar to the EV2s, so they'll probably just end up performing exactly the same with like some minor differences. Get this thing. Can I open it? I already looked at them for a little bit, but I just like put it back the way it got it. There's some more instruction stuff on the back, and the actual controllers. So these are really close to the EV2s. I noticed, because there's a few like markings right here that, you know, are more clear, so that's good. And I think they made this rivet a tiny bit less thick. And the triggers are still pretty much the same. I mean, they're slightly stiffer, but it's like barely noticeable. If you would rest these on the table, it still like depresses it. And you don't want a depressed trigger, right? They also raised up the touchpad a tiny bit, I noticed. And the joystick has like a textured feel to it instead of being smooth. It's good improvements, but they're like very minor. They're also a tiny bit recessed now, this system button, but I'd still prefer it if like the location got changed to somewhere over here maybe, because I can't really do that very easily. Like it's requires a lot of intention to press it. But I guess you don't press it too often anyway. So yeah, they still included USB-C cables, but they didn't braid them, which is sad because the braided ones are amazing. Like the ones that came with EV2, let me find one. These are great because they have like fabric over them and they're like super strong and they feel super solid. These are rubbery. Not a huge fan of that, but it's alright. Still good that they include them. I think the length of them is the same, which is about a meter or so. Oh wow, the length's actually more. So I guess they sacrificed build quality for length maybe? I don't know. So the old ones were 1 meter, these are like 150-ish. I don't know what that is in feet, do your own fucking conversions. But so far pretty good. I mean, they're just EV2s, which were already pretty good, but with some minor improvements. Let me grab an EV2. See, as you can see, they're very similar. The only way to distinguish them really is the markings on this. You can also see the rivet is like, I don't know if you can see that on the camera. It's hard for me to monitor because the screen is all the way on the other side of my room, but pretty good. They also changed the triggers a tiny bit. Like if you can see, let's see, it's pretty rounded on the EV3s. On the EV2s, they were pretty like pointy on the trigger, so that changed. So they did change the molding of that, I guess. And let's see. I also weighed them. They're all the exact same weight, so I don't think they changed the battery size, which means the battery improvements are just firmware based, which is cool. These fit in here really weirdly. I don't understand it. It's like that, I guess. Yeah. The box is the same, but it has the EV3s on it instead of EV2. Let me actually grab the other box. These are nice boxes though. even though they look like just straight cardboard. So this is the EV2 box, which is, yeah, it's essentially exactly the same. They didn't redo the thing. The inside was also the same, except they had these sleeves on the controllers, which are no longer on the EV3s. It's definitely like a tiny incremental upgrade, not so much like a crazy... This is a new version upgrade. So I'm expecting them to perform exactly the same. Quick start guides are exactly the same too, except for EV3 instead of 2, but yeah, interesting. So this is EV2, right? Yeah, okay. Put this back in the box. Glass case out. That's neat. By the way, this is the EV3 1.3 box. It's interesting. Ooh. These are all broken, by the way. So why is this box heavy? But I remember. By the way, sorry if the audio is shitty. Right now I'm using the microphones on the webcam itself, so it might sound a little noisy because it's like pretty echoey room. Yeah, so let's see. So EV2 to 3, tiny upgrade. I mean, feels the same basically. I really don't trust this wiggle in the center, because with my EV2s I've had them replaced once because the wiggle got too extreme. Like this is not even moving the thing, it's just wiggling. I don't trust that, but I expect that to be fixed soon anyway. Or not soon, but at some point. So yeah, overall EV3 is not a super interesting upgrade, but I guess them making more of them is good because more devs will have them, which means more software for whenever they release. I don't fucking know when that is, but let's see. Got the Vibe wands. This one has a sticker on it because it's sort of shitty, so I always keep that on my left. The trigger on it is a little iffy. Size comparison or whatever. Let me just get these cables on. Here's the touch controllers. These are consumer touch controllers, not like engineering sample or anything. And they feel tiny compared to this, even though like the disc on the top is basically the same size. The buttons are bigger on this, which makes it feel a little more like a toy, but alright, whatever you want. I like the joysticks on the touch more because they're less wiggly feeling in the center. These feel more solid. But again, this is a consumer product, this is not, so I'm not expecting them to be perfect yet. I think I changed the length of this because it was too long before. It's still a little long, but it's like probably good for most hands anyway. Touch controllers. So let's see. Got Windows Mixed Reality controllers here. By the way, if you're wondering why I have all these controllers, it's because I'm a developer. That's also why I have the knuckles. I make the game climby, and I need all these controllers to do stuff and test. I don't use them all at the same time, I just have them. But yeah, this has always felt a little weird. Like the form factor is super weird, and their controller doesn't feel very high end. It feels sort of cheap. Compared to this one especially, like the knuckles feel amazing compared to this. It's like a ridge that digs into your hand, and I don't like these. Also the giant ring, like what? And then last but not least, I have the old knuckles. 1.3. These are the only pair I have that haven't broken yet, so they're like slightly damaged down here because of the cord pulling, and these are probably gonna pop off if you use them for too long. But you know, these feel really interesting compared to these. Like, you can almost feel the evolution to these, because these feel so much better. These feel like, I don't know, too angular down here or something. It's weird. You can see some marks up here. Pretty cool though. Good to have in my like collection of stuff. I've just been like saving every box I can, like the mint ones anyway, so I can put them on display in my living room, which is cool. Here we have a kitchen scale. Let's just see how like heavy all of these are compared to each other. Can you see that? Is that visible? Maybe I should zoom in. I don't know. Let's see. Let me just walk over to the screen. Oh yeah, you can see that. Cool. So this will be in grams because I am European, and you will not get it in pounds from me. Just use Google or whatever. Original knuckles, 185 grams ish. Yeah, 184. Interesting. Which these were lighter than the EV2 pluses. These are 200 and something. Hold on. 205, 204. These are quite heavy. I mean, they do feel solid, but like the form factor is just not there, you know. These are touches with batteries in them, so I made sure like that's the actual weight. 166-ish. I mean, it pops back and forth. Let's just make sure the other one weighs the same. Probably does. 167, 68. Yeah, I mean, within margin of error. These are 198. Yeah, 198. 197. Pretty good. Quite heavy too. These have 2 batteries in them, so that's probably why they're so heavy. Knuckles are about the same weight as one as McTrelly, turns out. Yeah. And these weigh the same as EV2s, which I can put on too, but kind of pointless, honestly. Any weight difference is like the cord being slightly off to the side or something. By the way, you can very clearly see the cord length is different if I pull these all the way and these all the way. It's like a, I don't know, solid 2 centimeters, maybe 1.5 or so centimeters extra length, which is weird because like these like flopped around a lot, so that's a good improvement. The rest of these look pretty much identical, so yeah, that's the controllers I have. I have like some janky Chinese controllers too from the Hyperreal Pano, which is like an unknown Chinese headset. I could grab those. They look like a cross between Touch and Live ones. Righto. These I don't think work anymore with the current like Steam VR binding stuff. 184, so this is they're all around 200 basically, with Touch probably being the lightest at 160 something. See, these are really weird, so I don't want to give these too much attention because it's like cheap on all sides and use one battery and doesn't have a cord strap at all. Weird ones, for sure. Cool, so yeah, what to do now? I guess I'm just gonna mess with them, but they're just gonna work exactly the same as my EV2s, so you just look at that video if you want to see anything like me using them. I haven't actually plugged these in yet or like paired them, so that'll be the next video maybe, I don't know. Actually, I'm gonna get the Vive wireless in on October 8th, hopefully. Fucking Europeans got delayed. So that should be interesting, you know, Vive wireless with the Vive Pro on Knuckles. Too bad I don't have any Lighthouse 2.0s yet though. Kind of want to run around in my entire house, but I can't do that because I only have 2 base stations. Oh well. Anyway, I think that's the video. I hope that was informative, maybe. I don't know. Something. And I hope the audio holds up.